Something like that.
10, 9, 8. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, Kubo? It's Moogle running it back with some Payday 3 discussion thoughts with the one, the only, almighty Anon. Dude, I know you love that.
I don't even say it like that. I don't know why you guys all have this idea. It's just almighty Anon. Like
Almighty
where does
Anon. I was
where does
playing
it
War
come from?
Thunder a little ago, and somebody had the gamer tag Almighty Door, and I went, Almighty Door.
You motherfucker. I feel like the E meme. You know what I mean? Like it feels
That's
like
a good meme. That's a very good meme. What do you
it was
mean?
a good meme, but I'm not Mr. Incredible. I've already had somebody in the past make a short of of me as Mr. Incredible. Mr. Increditom. That one's up on my page. Go check that out.
It's the
Again,
Almighty Anon. I'm telling you. It's the same way I roast you for saying iron. You say things in
fuck
a
off.
funny way.
Don't say it wrong. Iron. It's a simple
Iron.
word. Iron.
Iron.
Shut up. Do the fucking video. What? What are we doing today? What is the point of this? Why have you dragged me into this dark, cold basement?
Mostly, I just want to discuss the thoughts on the beta of Payday 3, how you enjoyed it, what your thoughts on the mission were, what you liked about it, and then what you like to see for small changes in the future with Payday 3. What updates would you like to see come my way? And all that good shit. Honestly, I just want to hear your absolute favorite thing right out the gate. Favorite thing about the whole beta. What was your favorite?
Hated it, and the game shouldn't come out, and they should burn the studio to the ground.
And where are these emotions coming from?
I had a very rough shot. No, it's okay. I can't admit to this. All right, favorite part of the beta. Let's see. Honestly, the hype is kind of like a shitty answer, but it's true. My personal hype for this has been at an all-time high. You know this. Some of our buddies know it. I loved Payday. It was actually, believe it or not, it was the first game. There's a little bit of context to this, right? So my father, who is a very boring person. I mean, he's entertaining to talk to, but if you look at his like daily life and his habits, he's a very boring person. I came back from visiting my mom one summer, and he just had a PlayStation 3, and I was pretty much never allowed to touch it. He let me play it like once or twice, but I was really not allowed to touch it just because that was his. He wouldn't let me move it into my room so I could use it or anything. And then finally, there came a time where he did let me bring it into my little gaming area, and he let me use it. And the first game that I got, that was my game for the PS3, was Payday 2, and I was playing it with my buddy. We'll call him Skylar. Why not? My buddy Skylar, him and we played it for hours and hours on end. And then when I upgraded to the Xbox One, I got it there, and nobody else that I was friends with had it, so I just played it on my own. I probably put in a good 30 or so hours at that time on my own before switching to PS4, where I then got it again as one of like the first games I got on my PS4. So Payday 2 has been with me for a long time. Even if I didn't like get into the nitty-gritty of it, I didn't know about like the ending. I don't know all the details about like the characters and the maps, and I didn't play on all the difficulties, but I definitely have a strong connection with the game in terms of like good memories and whatnot. When I saw about Payday 3 coming out, I got super hype, and I kind of let my expectations get the better of me. I held it to really, really high standards. And I wouldn't say that the beta failed to live up to them, but I definitely think that my expectations versus what we got were pretty far apart. Not in a bad way, though.
I do feel the expectations portion of that rant. I did have some ideas. I was expecting at least 3 missions to play from, at least even 2, like bare minimum 2 to 3, and the fact that it was only the one bank heist, it was a little let down, but it doesn't mean I didn't have fun. It was very fun, and I very much enjoyed the whole thing. My favorite aspect of the whole thing, like, was that like it's a taste. It's just a taste of what's to come, customization wise, gun wise, like all of that is just gonna be inbound one day. And maybe that's just me sucking some copium right now and me wanting to see a lot more mass customization, weapon customization into the actual game. But overall, I very much enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed all of that was dropped on me. When it comes to like my least favorite thing, I would have to say that there's just like way too many glitches in the menu for the beta. Like,
Yeah, especially with the game being so close to being out, because it comes out, what, in 3 days now?
3-4 days, something like that.
Something like that. And I will say, I think my biggest gripe with the beta, yes, the glitches were definitely off-putting. I mean, I get it, though. That is the point of a beta, is to help polish it off. I'm very, very confident. Like, I'll put down physical cash on this, that they're going to have a day one patch, just like a lot of games do. But I think this is going to be a relatively hefty one. But my biggest gripe, honestly, was the fact that we didn't get to experience the custom game mode. Playing with just people you invite. That was an issue that we ran into when we were playing was, we got to do the heist, just the two of us, I think once or twice. But that was only by the pure chance that somehow nobody else joined. So
like they disconnected beforehand or something. It was very lucky that we got to experience it. And I think those two, like 1 to 2 times that it happened, best time I had.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because we didn't have people running off and doing shit on their own and like speeding it up or slowing it down or anything.
We could figure out how to stealth it on our own, and when the stealth portion did mess up, it was like, all right, that's fine, that's acceptable. Versus like, right. Who the fuck set off that alarm? Who set off the alarm? Like, there's a definite different vibe from just being with randoms and having your own crew, even if half the crew is bots. It's a different vibe. That's what I liked about Payday 2, is that you could turn off the bots and then play either literally by yourself or whoever was there.
Most definitely. I did have a little bit of a theory as to why we didn't get to really see the custom game. And this is, again, being optimistic and hopeful.
Huffing that copium.
Right? Like, I low-key kind of think that the reason we didn't see the custom game is that they're going to lean a little bit more towards like a Black Ops 2 style custom game mode, where rather than just, hosting a lobby, inviting the people that you want, and changing the difficulty in the bot settings, I think they're going to go a lot more customizable. I think they're going to let you, customize police response time, civilian population density, the police response density, etc. Stuff like more detailed control over the settings for in your custom games.
And I think in general, if you look at like games over the years, what do some of like the most popular games have in common? That's a good customization in your own custom lobbies. And
yeah, pretty much just player control, to blanket that term.
Really, it is. Yeah. So I'd like to see something like that, definitely. Or like even how if you do a custom lobby with friends, you can do, your actual progression lobby, or you can do those lobbies where, I'm playing with some of my newer friends that don't get to play all the time. Let me set it on one of those lobbies where everybody has everything unlocked, but you won't gain any experience for it, and we won't make any progression. But my friend who only can play a couple hours a day at most, if he's lucky, because he's either got a job or a kid or something else going on in his life, if he gets to experience that full flavor with everybody in those like custom lobbies, it's definitely just something a lot of people might lean towards.
Most definitely. I was gonna comment, I feel like the guns handled pretty well. I think they have that relatively down packed. I didn't really run into any issues with any of the mechanics in that frame set, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any issues with handling any of the weapons. Once again, your starting assault rifle is that assault rifle that you kind of dread to take on those first few missions until you get something like the shotgun, or I even built up enough of those special credits by playing so much that I got that SMG with the built-in silencer and stuff like that. I got to
Oh
use
yeah.
that. That was pretty nice. I'll be honest. That was I only saw one other person use that, so I felt like a badass when I got to use that in the lobby. And I was playing with 3 level 1s as a level 15, level
Yeah,
14.
you shouldn't feel badass. You should actually be pretty upset.
I didn't see anybody else. I didn't see anybody else that high level. I saw one other person that was a higher level than me. That was like level 17 at one point. But besides that, no, I don't. I felt like the lobby matchmaking was just pretty random versus like I would rather have played with people of a similar level more consistently. But maybe there wasn't that many people with that high level, so I gotta take the L on the fact that I'm just a top 1%er. Nothing too crazy.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it honestly the game handled pretty well. I just think my biggest gripe was the whole custom lobby thing. And then like you said, the issues with only being one map, one heist. I'd be fine with one map if there was somehow some variation in it. If they would have made it so that there's the regular, take the money that's in that safe and go, or if there was a variation of it where it was like, I don't know, just, do a holdout and then wait to evac because they moved it out, or hey, there's a truck arriving at this bank that you're going to have to intercept outside, just different, some variation. Because I remember, and this is probably my like fondest beta type memory, going back to like Black Ops 3 when that was coming out. I played that shit for hours, dude. I made a little clip on it and everything. I had a great time, and they had like I think 2 or 3 maps, and I think it was like TDM and domination, and that was enough. That was enough to keep people playing. And I actually even submitted the email with feedback to the company. Granted, nobody probably ever read it, but it was nice. It was a nice beta, and I think that's leaning that direction is a little bit more of what this one could have used.
Yeah, I feel like when it came to different things happening throughout the heist, it really just came down to, all right, are you getting the thermite in the roof of the building, or is it in the parking lot? Is your I want to say they were called barley, the little barricades, or are you going to get the close spawns, or are you going to get the far spawn with that? And that was pretty much it. But in like Payday 2, if you remember the bank heist, sometimes the bank would be right next to the tellers, and then other times it would be like next to the security office. And then
Yeah,
sometimes you would
yeah.
be opening the bank to gold, other times you were opening it to cash. I did like the die packs in this one, though. I was very
iPad
excited.
was a nice addition.
I very much love the sense of everything feels right. Like this is what I'm if I'm actually gonna rob a bank, this is what I have to do, kind of deal, you know. So it felt very cool and unique, but just like you said, customizability, player power, and just
Variety. Played
variety.
up variety, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, really, what the variety was, especially even between players, everyone had the same loadouts, kind of, and I don't know what people took for perk cards. I really didn't get to see that because a lot of the menus stuff where I could see what people were taking was kind of slow and buggy, and I couldn't necessarily say it. But overall, even despite through all of that, I still had like a phenomenal time on the beta. I mean, clearly
It
I got to
was
level 15.
right. It was fun. I will not denounce that. It definitely was a fun beta. It was just kind of a boring beta, which is it sounds like oxymoronic, but it's the perfect way, in my opinion, to describe it. It was a fun but boring beta.
It's like Minecraft. Like it's fun, but it's boring. Not always something is happening. But like even like in a game where it's supposed to be something's always happening, not everything was always happening, and that was a good feeling. Like it was like, all right, the police are recuperating from their assault on you. You now have time to do shit. That felt good. But because when the police came, especially after a while when you were doing loud shit, you couldn't move around. You were like, all right, I gotta sit here and fight off the cops until this wave is done. Unless you wanted to risk it for the biscuit. But let me tell you, that biscuit was not worth it sometimes. I would be running with dry mouth. I'd be running back and forth grabbing bags. My mouth would be dry, my stomach would be rumbling from hunger, and I'd go, "Ooh, a biscuit." And I'd take that biscuit and I'd throw all of it in my mouth. But I've realized something. That's a Popeyes biscuit right there, and my mouth is already dry, and that's a dry ass biscuit.
You've over dedicated to the bit. I can't. I'm sitting here trying to shut up, but like, Jesus. Too much biscuit, not enough water.
Not enough water.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this commentary video. Thank you to Red Mog for having me on with him.
No.
It's still to be determined whether this is going to pop up on just his channel or if it's going to be a dual upload or whatever. Don't forget to show some love to our community channel between me, Red Mog, Xeno, Graceful Rogue, and Kodiak and all them. What Incorporated. We'll be sure to put the link in the description for you. We had a lot of fun on this beta, and thank you to the developers for Payday 3 for, releasing this and giving us a taste of the game before it actually got to come out. And we're very, very excited. We'll be sure to be playing it. That will not be up on my personal channel, but that will probably be up on Red Mog's and, again, probably on the community. So plenty of content for you all to enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you know every time this motherfucker decides to upload or go live. And yeah, thank you again.
And I just want to say quickly thank you to all of you for giving the amazing support to me, the community channel, all of the boys involved, and everyone in general. I just love anytime I see a single view just move up. If we go from 1 to 2 views, 2 to fucking 100, whatever the number is, anytime I see somebody y'all interact with any of the content that we produce out, I love it, because that means to me we're doing a good job, that y'all liking this content, and that fact that you guys keep coming back just warms my heart every time. So I just want to see the boys succeed, and I want to see them thrive and be in a happy place, and because of y'all they're able to do that. So can't thank y'all enough. And with that, we're gonna dip out of here. That was Moogle and also the almighty Anon.
Aces.
Peace out, Kupo.